and where's it going? So let's start off with that somewhat lame question. If you think back to your beginning in project management and now, what would be the things that you think have changed?
This is a very good question, Mark. Thank you for putting this question.
That's a subtle way of saying it's a stupid question. I don't know what to do with it. But go ahead.
This is great that you put this question into the room. Give me a second to think about it. So I remember yes, please. I remember the first experiences in project management were when I was 22 actually. Mm-hmm. I was project assistant, co-project manager, mm-hmm. not really defined of implementing an ERP system in the industrial company. And it was very much about documentation at the end of the day.
Okay.
It was about filling in Excel sheets, it was about structure, it was about filling in Word files, it was about having a proper documented project. Humans were not really important. It was mm-hmm. about defining processes. It was about putting those things into actions. It was about programming those things, and you have to follow.
Okay.
That's the rule. Because there was
Did you have a consulting firm that was supporting
There
you?
was an IT consulting firm
okay.
supporting, but they just did the IT stuff, mm-hmm. and all the other things were led internally.
Okay.
And there was a big boss, so the company was owned by one person. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay, by the end of the year, it has to work.
Okay.
This was the project order, basically.
Yeah. How did you feel about it? By the way, were you trained back then?
I was not really trained. I did some exams at university.
Okay.
I know if you take it at the age of 21, you just say, yeah, basically yes.
Yeah. Not always, but often?
Sometimes, yeah, and take the exam, and then that was it.
Okay.
So I was not really trained. It was my first experience on really working in a project. And it was for my experience, very structured, documented. It was like back to the ISO 2000.
ISO was big back then,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I had a similar experience actually. I mean, before I started, almost exact same story. Before that, I'd spent about 6 years in what I call in the wild, in the jungle,
okay.
where I started off as a department head with a particular product segment, and I had ideas on how to change it, improve it, and things we could do to market it or promote it. And those were the first projects that I did.
Where was that?
In the United States.
Okay.
A lot of it was in hotel business, but also beyond that, a lot of it was in the direction of, for example, achieving new quality standards, mm-hmm. opening new outlets, sales programs, big events, stuff like that. That's kind of what it revolved. But it was kind of something that you did on the side. It was not. We didn't really use the word project management.
And your role was?
My project management role was actually, as we say in German, Mädchen für alles, the girl for everything, or the kindergarten teacher. I was a department head and I was a lead. I was a project lead, but we didn't use that word.
Okay.
You had a full-time job that you had to do, so you had to do your day-to-day work, and then on the side, depending on how important. Some of the projects I worked on.
Quite similar. Just get it done.
Yeah, it was kind of it was project management by the seat of your pants, flying by the seat of your pants. Just do it type thing was kind of
How do you say it in German?
Fliegen beim Hosentüdel. No, I don't know what the German version of it, but it's just kind of shooting from the hip, you might say.
Yeah.
And then after the first formal training, when I went into this mega project and started working in a project office or project management office, depending what word you want to use. A lot of it, actually, strangely enough, not from side of the project, the core team, it was so much documentation. Documentation was part of it. Workflow was part of it. We had all sorts of repositories. So we were kind of in a project office, or what you might call a PMO. And strange enough, we had a huge brigade of consultants that were assisting. Mm-hmm. I think I was close to 100.
Assisting?
So it was a consulting firm. I won't name the name. Starts with an A. That had about 100 consultants on site because it was a big fusion of two large entities. And they when I remember when I was looking at project management, I would like look to them. I said, because they have a big name, they should know what they didn't even have the term project management in their vocabulary.
Wow.
It was just considered part of their operations. Yeah. And I remember when I asked their junior consultants what they did, they would fill out Excel sheets. So that's what you say. And I'm not kidding, they had hundreds of them.
Yeah. And that's like a thing, like decades ago, let's call it that way, it was really about filling in Excel sheets and Word files. Yeah. And those days you had just had your Windows 95.
We had Lotus Notes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Or Windows 3.1, and it was really a hassle to get these Excel sheets done. And this was like a huge brave thing once you did it. Yeah. But actually, no really taking care about humans, no really taking care about feelings, about change, about behaviors, about why question, actually. But I think
strangely enough, the non-consultants in our projects took care of that. We were really good at that. We kind of bridged the gap between, because there was a lot of conflict potential between consultants coming in, telling you what to do without explaining why you're doing it and what's it good for. Yeah. And we compensated for that. That's kind of also where we start off with the idea for the PMI chapter. We'll talk about that later on. Where did you move from there?
From there, I moved to another company, pharmaceutical company, and was kind of leading a cool project. It was about shipping medicine against blood poisoning around the globe within a certain time of period. Mm-hmm.
So it's a product focused.
Product focused, but establish a project to set up those delivery channels actually. Mm-hmm. That was cool. It was a US-based company. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, I did not have anything to do about documentation. As you know, from pharmaceutical companies, there's like hundreds and thousands of documentation and requirements and so on. So it was really about making sure that in the German-speaking market, so Austria, Switzerland, and Germany those days, to make sure that this medicine can be shipped to a certain place within a certain period of time. Mm-hmm. And that was cool. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I had a great boss there, very inspiring person. And that was really fascinating. And I also did some trainings there in proper project management, whatever that is.
What was your first impression?
It's a lot of common sense, actually. Yeah. It's a lot of common sense. It's taking people on board. Yeah. And I was somehow wondering how you can make a 3-day training just with those 2 basic statements, basically.
Yeah. Mine was, I think, a 5-day training. My first impression was, wow, a lot of this I've been doing.
Yeah.
But I did have a resounding kind of experience, which drove me also to want to embrace the concept of project management a little bit more. Was I wish I would have known some of this earlier, some of the foundational concepts, and I thought some of the tools were cool.
Maybe we heard earlier at university, but it was like...
I didn't have project management.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No. You went to TU, right?
Yes.
Did you have PATSAC?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. PATSAC is a famous icon of project management in Austria. No, I went to university in the States and studied business management and marketing, and we didn't cover project management.
Where did you study, actually?
In Texas, in Fort Worth, yeah.